Anything is possible, it started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family. We've grown strong together, you know it's all because...
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Donna Gray and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. I wanted to bring you a really super quick, easy card using the Heart to Heart stamp set and the story label punch. Now this is a super cute set and it can be for Valentine's Day, but it can be for all other reasons as well. So I wanted to use the color scheme of Rococo Rose and Smoky Slate. So I'm going to start with a card base, which is cut at 5 3/4 by 8 inches, scored at 4 inches. Scored at 4 inches, and that gives us a card front size of 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. Now I have a piece of Rococo Rose cardstock, and that is cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And then I also have a piece of Whisper White. Now that Whisper White is cut at 3 5/8 inch by 5 3/8 inch. So it's an 1/8 inch smaller than my Rococo Rose. So I just wanted a hint of the Rococo Rose to come in behind. Now what I want to do is I just want to do an arrangement of these gorgeous flowers, and I'm going to use the Smoky Slate and the Rococo Rose as the color scheme. So I'm going to use the Smoky Slate for the leaves of this stamp set, and I'm then going to use the Rococo Rose for the flowers. So I'm just going to mount up the flowers from the set. So we've got a couple of different sizes here. So I'm going to mount up each size. So we have an arrangement of different size flowers. And I'm also going to mount up the leaves that we have here. So we have one leaf there. And we have a smaller leaf in here as well. So I'll pop that onto a block. Okay, and now we are good to go. All right. So what I decided to do is I'm going to cut just a sample of the story label punch because I want to see how I'm going to place all of my flowers around this label. So I'm just going to pop those other two pieces out of the way. So I want to arrange the leaves and the flowers coming out from underneath this super cute label. So I'm just going to use it as a guide. So the first thing I'm going to do is ink up my leaves in the Smoky Slate, and I'm going to stamp one there. So just like that. And I'm also going to stamp another one coming down through here. Okay. And I think with the smaller leaf, I'm going to stamp a smaller leaf coming up through here. And I'm still using that as my guide. Okay, so I think I want a smaller leaf coming down through here. Like that. So that's looking super cute. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my little flowers. So I'm going to use my Rococo Rose, and I'm going to stamp one flower up on the end of that gorgeous little stem there, like that. I'm then going to stamp the medium flower nestled in the middle of those leaves. And I'm going to do the same thing down the bottom with the smaller flower coming off that one. And the medium flower. I'm then going to do, the medium flower I'm going to do coming off the end here. So if we can imagine a flower's coming out there. So it's underneath our label once again. And I'm thinking that I want a couple of these larger flowers just peeking up like they're underneath. So I'm going to do one there and pop my label back on. And I'm going to do one over here. So I want a fairly large amount of that flower showing just there. Okay, and I feel like I need a small flower just in here. So you can see the thought process that I do. I just fill in the pattern where I think it needs to be. Okay, so I think that's looking super cute. All right. Now what I'm going to do is, I've used that as my rough guide, but I'm actually going to stamp here. So we've got one stamp in here, which is the shape of our punch. So I'm going to mount that up. And I'm going to stamp that one down with our smoky slate. I'm going to ink that up with smoky slate. And I'm going to stamp it, I'll move that up a little bit. Stamp it down here like that. Okay, so that gives me the outline. And then I'm going to pop in here, wishing you love and laughter forever after, it says. Sorry. I'm going to grab that out. That one there, and pop it on a block. Now I'm going to do that in the Rococo Rose. So we're going to be able to stamp that in the middle of that border. So like so. And then I want to, I'm going to stamp off these flowers, but I want to do them in the smoky slate because I want to just add a little bit of interest on that label. But I'm going to stamp off on a scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to bring in a Post-it note. So I want to stamp off so that I get a lighter look. Okay, so I'm going to stamp off and stamp on. And you can see it's just adding a little bit like a watermark in behind. So it's just taking that sheer white look off that label. Okay, and adding a pattern in behind on our sentiment label. So I'm then going to, with my punch, I'm going to punch that label out. Okay, so I'm going to bring the punch in and I'm going to punch that out just like so. And I'm also going to punch out two of these labels in the Rococo Rose. 1 and 2. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to layer these up. Now the reason that I've done 2 is I want to layer one up on the top here to give me a border, and then I'll layer the other one up on the bottom, and that's going to give me a really nice backing to that label. So what I want to do is I'm going to glue that on like so. So I'm going to get some liquid Tombow. And I'm just going to add some glue to that label. And I'm going to line that up like so. So I've just got a little bit peeking out at the top. And then I'm going to line up this one underneath, the same as I've done the top, but I'm going to pop it on the bottom. So like so, pick it up and put it into that one there. Just like that. Now you could, if you wanted to save cardstock, you could cut that label in half, the Rococo Rose. I like to do it with the 2. That way I get them lined up really nicely. But it's totally personal choice what you want to do. Okay, so the next thing what I want to do is, just with a bit of our rose metallic thread, I'm going to pop a bit of double-sided tape on the back here of my label. Okay. So I'm just going to pop a bit of double-sided tape just in the middle of that label. Take the backing off with my Take Your Pick tool. And then I'm just going to, with the metallic thread, I'm just going to wrap it round and round my fingers so that I get a bunch of the thread. Probably about 8 times is a great amount to do that. And I'm just going to grab my scissors. Cut that off. There they are. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roughly organize that and stick it into that double-sided tape at the back. Okay. Now it doesn't have to be neat. The idea is just giving a nice tossed look with your metallic thread. Just make sure that you get your ends and pop your ends into the double-sided tape. So I've got one end there. I'm going to curl that over and pop it in. And I've got one end here. I'll curl that over and pop it in. Okay, so then when you turn it over, you can see when you pop it on your card, you're going to have that gorgeous rose metallic thread in behind. Just to add and take that plainness off. So I'm going to pop that up onto some dimensionals. Like that. Now everything that I'm using in this video today can be purchased through my online store. Now, if you look in the Show More box down below in the video here, you will find all of the links for the items that I have used in this card. So you can purchase the products to actually recreate this card if you wanted to. Okay, so now I've got that done. I'm actually going to pop that onto my Rococo Rose layer. Just with my liquid Tombow. Okay, so line that up. The reason why I use the liquid Tombow, this has got just a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. And as you can see, the liquid Tombow gives you room to move it and line it up so that you get it nice and straight on that layer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Rococo Rose marker, and with my Rococo Rose marker and the thick end, I'm actually going to pop the thick end in, and I'm actually going to spritz. Now you need to make sure that you've got nothing in the way that this is going to get on it, because it's going to actually spritz and it's going to go onto your card. Okay, so we've got that with the Rococo Rose. I'm also going to go through with my Smoky Slate, and I'm going to do the same thing with the Smoky Slate. Okay, and you can see that that just takes that white look off the background and gives you a spritzed look, which is super, super cute. It's a trick that I use all the time when I look at a card and I think, oh, it looks a little bit plain. It looks like it needs something more. That is the trick that I do. All right, so now we're actually going to mount that onto the front of our card. So I'm going to use my liquid Tombow again. Pop some Tombow on the back and mount that onto my card. All right. And for the inside of my card, now it's totally up to you. At the moment, I actually don't have any extra white cardstock here on my table, but I'm going to stamp the insert of my card. I would normally line it with another piece of cardstock. I would line another piece of Whisper White, but seeing I don't have any on my desk, I'm just going to go straight into the inside. And because it's white, we can get away with doing that. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to stamp a gorgeous flower, and I think I'm going to use the large flower here. So I'm going to stamp that large flower just like that. So you can see that I've brought a little bit of the front of the card to the inside of the card. Now I'm just going to see if I've got an envelope floating around, which I do. Okay. So we're also going to stamp our envelope so that we can have a matching set here. So what I'm actually going to do is, with that same leaf image, I will stamp that on the back of the envelope. So just like so. And then with our flower, pop it down below like that. And we will do the same on the front. So when the recipient receives this card, they're going to see the front of the card, the outside of the envelope, and they're going to know that something stunning is inside just by the look of that envelope. So one of the things that I think is a beautiful finishing touch is actually stamping your envelope as well, so that the whole card will actually match together. So as you can see, gorgeous envelope, super cute card using the heart-to-heart stamp set and the story label punch. So I hope you enjoyed that video today. Now, if you thoroughly enjoyed my video, please feel free to click the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, because that way then you will get notified every time I upload a video or every time I go live on YouTube. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to enjoy my crafting. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye for now.
So just do what you love, live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of, it's what you're dreaming